Hey, beautiful. How are you? Peace and blessings to you. So, real quick, I want to talk about the ingredients of a husband. So, sometimes there are a lot of people out here that, like I've said in other videos, there are men saying they're looking for a wife. They don't meet the pre-qualifications of a husband. And there are women out here saying they're looking for a husband. They don't meet the pre-qualifications of a wife. So I'm gonna give y'all a few ingredients um, of a husband, of what the any husband anywhere. He might have the title of husband, he might not. But these are some of the ingredients, these are some of the characteristics that he should possess if he's going to be a solid husband. So here we go. The first one, intelligence. He is intelligent. An intelligent man will go far in life because he can then think through his decisions, he can think through life, and he just is all around better for, conversing. If you can't have a conversation with somebody, y'all not gonna last, okay? Looks and money and glamour and sex and that shit do not last when it come down to having a solid conversation, okay? So intelligence, for me, is the number one attribute. He's kind, nice, a gentleman, respectful, all of that, okay? If he's mean, if he's disrespectful, calling you out your name, that's a no-no, sis. That's not gonna work. That, beating you down, and no, you want him to be nice and kind. That goes very far, okay, man? It goes very far. For me, he's a go-getter. He's ambitious. He has a strong work ethic. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean he's rich or glamorous, or you might meet him in his low season. But his go-getter spirit, his ambition, means that he is constantly trying to progress and move forward. I've often heard people say, a man dies at 18, we just bury him at 65. So that ambition, that spirit of progression is absolutely vital with a man. You want him to constantly be moving forward, because as soon as he gets stuck or stagnant, that's an ugly energy that, frankly, nobody should want to be around. But as a woman, this leads me into my next one. He needs to be a leader. If he's not ambitious or a go-getter or forward-thinking or trying to progress in life, he's not going to do very well at leading you. And as a woman, you want a husband that's able to lead his family. Now, understand, it is absolutely important for both of y'all to be heading in the same direction, which is a leadership quality. If I'm very cautious about who I allow to lead me. If I'm headed, because I'm a leader in my own right, but if I'm headed west and he's headed north, there's no point in me following you. You're not going in the same direction. And that's absolutely okay. Find somebody that's headed north. I'm going to find somebody that's headed west. That's okay. So understanding leadership and how to follow, and understanding he has to be able to lead and make decisions on behalf of the family, not just himself. But understand, if he ain't even leading his own life, don't get under his submission for him to lead your life or your kids' life. No, he has to be able to lead. Okay? He's God-fearing, okay? Whatever higher power he serves, he needs to have an understanding that he ain't in control of life. And he serves the greater good of a supreme being. God, Allah, whatever name, okay? But he has to be God-fearing. Because when he come in contact with some shit that he don't have an answer to and he don't have control over, he's going to have that understanding of God on the spiritual level to keep his mind sane. Otherwise, sis, get out of Dodge, okay? That's not going to end well. It's not going to go well at all, okay? He's healthy. Another ingredient of a husband, he's healthy. Not so much in the physical, like he eats healthy, he exercises. That's great in the physical. But I'm talking about the emotional and spiritual health. He's healed his childhood trauma, some of the stuff that he's been through, his life experiences, mama issues, daddy issues, all of that. He's healed all of that. He's healed, like I was saying. Sometimes, we have emotional baggage. We have mama issues, daddy issues. I got interrupted by my kids, so that's why I don't know where I left off. But he has taken the time to be accountable for himself and heal from that trauma, the childhood experiences, all that. The husband, the ingredients of a husband has healed from that. Otherwise, that mental dis-ease is contagious. He's going to continue perpetuating the cycle. The abused becomes the abuser, okay? That you're asking for toxic environments, more toxic environments, okay? So he definitely has to take the time to do shadow work, heal himself, read, deal with it. Deal with whatever emotional, mental, not self-medicate, drugs and alcohol, but heal, okay? That leads me into him valuing himself. When a man has truly healed, or anybody, a person has truly healed, and they pour self-love and they value themselves, then you can love somebody else. The saying is true. How can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself? The reality is that you really can't, because if I don't know what's required to love me and what I need, how can I then know how to pour love into you? There are a lot of people serving you dirt and calling it love. That's not love. But if you don't love yourself, then you don't know. You can't go, that's dirt. That's not love. If you don't love yourself. So the same thing with the ingredients of a husband. If he doesn't value himself and he doesn't love himself, he absolutely can't pour into the relationship. He's not going to be able to pour love into the relationship. I've experienced that. Where I try to love a man through his trauma and through his stuff, and try to get him to see the value in himself and speak to the king in him and get him to see that he's worth it. And, and it's not the clothes he wears or the earrings, the jewelry that he got on, but it's him. And he's valuable and who he is as a man. It's exhausting. Because while I'm pouring and pouring and pouring into him, it's just work. He's not capable of pouring into me. And for so long, I would wonder why these relationships wasn't reciprocated. But the reality is, he lacked the capacity to pour into me because he didn't see the love in himself. And no matter how much love I poured into him, until he started to see the love, the self-love and the value and his worth, he wasn't able to pour into me. He wasn't pouring into himself. I was pouring into it. So it's important that a husband have the self-love and value, self-worth. And he's pouring into himself. So when you come along, you pour into him. Y'all can pour into each other. That's the making of a healthy relationship. Okay? That leads me into the next. He's self-disciplined and self-controlled. Ingredients of a husband. A man that is self-disciplined and self-controlled is the man that's least likely to cheat. Now, every man may fall at some point in his life. But if he has self-discipline and self-control, when y'all in an argument, he has enough discipline and control to back up, hold up, what you talk, he has enough discipline and control to, you ain't my wife, That's ingredients of one of the ingredients of a husband. He's loyal. I would say that go without saying, but in 2020, don't nothing go without saying. You got to spell it everything out for people now. But he's loyal. Loyal. A lot of people say they loyal. They don't even know what loyalty looks like. They don't even know what it feels like. When I turn the corner, you got my back. When I go up, down, sideways, I'm here for you in the good times and the bad times. Some of these people out here are not loyal. They want to hang with you. They gonna be smiling in your face when you up. But when you really down and needing it and really looking for somebody to have your back, these people ain't around. So it's important to have discernment to know when a man is truly loyal. And this is not just loyal with his penis. This is beyond that, okay? You loyalty, you look out for me. If he ain't really showing that he looking out for you, and it's all about what he want, what he need, and his needs being met, and he don't care nothing about your needs, he ain't true loyal. That ain't true loyalty, okay? But if he look out for you, you tell him your goals, your dreams, he link up with you, y'all progressing, and he trying to help you get to where you trying to get to, and you helping him get to where he trying to get to, that's loyalty. That's loyalty, okay? His priorities are in order. The ingredients of a husband. A man who's husband material, his priorities are in order. My kids keep coming in here. His priorities are in order. Cause the reality is, if he got weed, but he ain't got a job, or he make sure he got weed in his pocket, but his phone bill don't stay on. He ain't got a pot to piss in, but he got weed, or his vices is taken care of, but he got a video game system, but he ain't got a pot to piss in. How's that working? Look, priorities out of order. He shouldn't be the type of man that he ain't got himself together, but he looking at you saying, "Hey girl, how you doing?" I'm doing good. I'm fine. I'm fine. You, however, you waiting around trying to figure out, waiting for blessings to fall in your lap. Lack of a leadership ability. There's no point in you in my face. I ain't following you nowhere. You feel me? His priorities out of order. Get your shit together before you in my face. That's real talk. That's not me being mean. This ain't me being mean, disrespectful. This is real. You got too many excuses. His priorities and his leadership skills are lacking. Okay? He's a good father. The next ingredient, he's a good father. If he's a father. Now, understand, some husbands material, they don't have children. And I commend the men who have managed to make it 30 years of life without making a kid. That's the self-discipline, the self-control man. I will say that, okay? But even with those men who may not have children of their own, they probably have nieces and nephews or something that you can see how he is around children and determine if he's a pretty good father, okay? But if he do got kids and he ain't in their life, you might want to question that. Because one thing I do have a problem with the baby daddies, they talk down on their baby mamas. And I hate the term baby daddy and baby mama. I hate that term, y'all. But if he talking down on his baby mama, my question is, well, if she that bad of a parent, why you ain't went to take her to court to get the kids? Why you ain't? Because I know a lot of single fathers out here doing their thing. But the ones who talk a lot, talk down on their baby mamas, but ain't really in the kid's life, no, You can't tell me she this and that and the third, and you ain't took her to court. So she ain't too bad. You ain't want to get the kids. You follow me? Start asking right questions and get down to the nitty gritty of how these men really think. Okay. And then for me personally, he nasty. An ingredient of a husband, he's nasty. Okay. And when I say nasty, I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sex got to be good. Okay, straight up. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. 14 years of marriage talking right here. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Sex can make or break your relationship. That's real shit. For people who, women, it's usually women who don't believe sex in a relationship is important. It's absolutely vital. Sex can make or break a relationship, especially a marriage. You can either save your marriage with good sex, or you can destroy your marriage with not good sex, okay? Sex is vital. And I'm going to leave it right there. But a good husband, the ingredients of a husband, he can have good sex, okay? It ain't not lazy sex. I'm going to leave it there. Because y'all, look, I can go pretty left with this when we start talking about sex. I'm going to leave it there. And finally, the ingredients of a husband. He's open to marriage. He desires to be married. Sis, you can absolutely meet a man who's absolutely amazing, and he is not one bit interested in having a wife. There are a lot of good men who really they done gave up the effort of finding a woman because they just been drugged. They've been drugged through the mud by some women who ain't shit, okay? It's some women out here that, I know y'all think y'all just bad and all that, but some of y'all really ain't shit. Y'all are some mean-spirited people. It's some men out here that ain't shit. They some mean-spirited people. And this is me coming from a place of love and understanding. And the ingredients of a husband. He has to be open to marriage. As much as he can have all these characteristics, and all these traits and how great he might be, if he ain't interested in being married to you, sis, hang it up. And you want to be married? You can't force his hand to want to be married to you if he don't want to be married. Not everybody want to be married. And we have to be okay with that. Those of us who want to be married, got to be okay with that. That's just the real deal, okay? So again, ingredients of a husband. He's open to marriage, or he desires to have a wife. He's loyal. I'm looking at my list. He's a leader, or a leader or a boss, or has that leadership ability. He values himself. He has self-love and self-worth. His priorities are in order. He has self-discipline. He's self-controlled, has self-discipline. He's nasty or good at sex. He's healed from his childhood traumas and some of the life experiences, so he won't pass that into his kids or another relationship. He's God-fearing. He's nice. He's kind. He's a gentleman. He's respectful. And he's intelligent. He's a go-getter. He's ambitious. He's a strong work ethic. And that's my list. And a good father. That was the other one. And a good father. So that's my list of ingredients of a husband. Y'all talk to me. I love y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.